as you're listening to this guy that's gone into a market in 3 years writing money, at the end of the day, I can pretty much tell you, you have outworked the competition, and as time has gone by, people have started to notice you. Here's what I've learned. The best of the best have got the following.
What's your goal for the next 6 months?
Okay, I want to talk, I asked you here, what do you do differently in the market versus other agents which have made you successful? What's your response?
Tom, I think we, in our office in particular, we got a lot of really good agents. I mean, top rate guys have been doing this for 18 years. They're attraction agents.
Right.
They have everything happening. They have a system happening. They have listings coming to them. They're doing everything right. So when I looked at that, I wanted to beat the guys in the office that were number one. And that Eric actually changed that for me.
Eric last year?
Yeah, because my goals before that was I wanted to beat them. And when I came away from Eric, it was I want to set goals for myself and beat those. It doesn't matter if I beat them or not.
It's you versus you.
It's me
the
versus
competition's
you.
in the mirror, isn't it?
That's it. And it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, as long as I know 100% I've done everything that I can. And the funny thing is, our goal was 1 million, we wrote 1,010,000. It's why didn't we make the goal 1.5?
Yeah.
You know, but that was the goal. It was no compromise. That was what we had to get, all in. So what makes me different, I think, when I look at a lot of what the other agents are doing, I just try to outwork everybody.
You work harder than most?
Yeah.
You're in there earlier?
Yeah.
And you're in there later? Out there later?
Very often, we have one admin lady that starts early. She'll beat me to work. At one stage, I was running pretty much, last year I was running just about every day, 7 to 8. 7 in the morning.
So you were the first, one of the first in the office?
First in the office, last to leave, switch the lights off. Our principal actually came in the one day, he looked at me, he said, I'm going to put a sign outside that says salesman on call 24/7.
I did a video not long ago about if you don't know how to turn the alarm on, there's your problem.
Exactly.
Have you got an alarm in your office?
Yes.
Do you know how to turn it off? Yeah.
I do it just about every day.
Did you hear that? He does it just about every day. And I'm telling everyone out there, as you're listening to this guy that's gone into a market in 3 years writing money, at the end of the day, I can pretty much tell you, you have outworked the competition, and as time has gone by, people have started to notice you.
Yeah.
You're getting results, other owners call you. But in the early stages, you didn't have that. No. You just had to work harder than everyone else, hustled harder than everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's a big learning there. Look, one of the things are you into vendor paid advertising?
Yes.
And agent paid advertising?
Yes. In a big way.
In a big way.
Yeah.
What's the sort of things that you've done agent paid advertising in?
Just about every week we'll pay for advertising.
Right.
And it's not a cop-out. We obviously get vendor-paid advertising. You want them to have skin in the game. You want vendors to be contributing towards the process. We'll have, for example, you might find on a last week we had a scenario. There were 2 slots in the page that hadn't been taken.
Right.
In that event, the boss will say, right, well, I'll pay half. Who wants to pay the other half? Every time that comes up, I say to them, yes, I'll take it. And every time they say to me, what are you going to advertise? I say, I don't know. I'll get back to you, but I'll take it. When I started, the first company that I worked at, they had this at a meeting once. They said, there's some adverts over here, they're the cheaper ones, who wants them? I said, I'll take it. And they looked at me and they said, you can't have it for self-promoting, it's got to be for a property. I had no listings. I said to them, I'll take it. And the guy looked at me and he didn't want to make me feel embarrassed in front of the meeting. He said, yeah, okay, and he left it. And he came back and said, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know, I'll go ask somebody who's got an old listing and I'll advertise it for them and I'll do the open homes. I had no money, but I did it. Because how else do you build a brand? How else do you get yourself out there?
You've got a brand now in the marketplace?
Yes.
How much are you collecting on VPA generally?
I'd have to ask the PA. Probably
1,000? 500?
a week? More
No,
than
per
that.
property.
1,500.
1,500.
Yep.
You've got here which I like. I'd rather observe someone with 5 years experience than someone with 1 year's experience 12 times over. I have no inclination to copy others, especially not those that have been doing this for 12 years and still are a one-man brand.
Yeah.
What you're basically saying is, you will look at successful people and learn from them, but you're not in the business of looking at someone who might be experienced but has had a shit year 12 years over.
Exactly.
Your son, how old is he?
22.
The question that I ask at this part of the interview is, what would you be saying to yourself if you were starting in real estate again?
Right.
But you actually don't have to answer that, because you can actually give the advice to your son. What's his name?
Zane.
Zane. What are you going to tell Zane to focus on when he comes in?
First thing I want to say is, give me 3 years, you're going to be doing the same interview with Zane. The kid's driven, he's focused, he loves property, he's going to be brilliant. I have no doubt about it.
He's got the look in his eye.
He's from 6 years old. When it comes to money, he's had the look in his eye. He's not greedy, he's not stingy, he's just incredibly switched on with that. We've sat down with it. He's just qualified as an engineer.
Right.
He's had a look at what we're doing. He's had a look at that. He wants to join the team. So he's going to be joining us in about 4 months' time. And we've had the conversation, and the advice to him has been real simple. It's invest in yourself. VPA, so agents, you find a lot of agents want VPA, but when it comes to agent-paid advertising, they don't want to know.
Yeah.
They don't want to put $150 in for an advert. It should be the vendor that does it. Why? Why aren't you contributing towards yourself?
Because what you're saying is you got to start thinking like a business person. You are not an employee of an agency. You are working for yourself.
Thank you. Exactly. You are a business owner. Now, why is it that you'd have somebody, you look at one of these shops downstairs here, they'll come in, they sign a lease, they've got to pay for the fit out of the shop, they've got to pay for all the stock, they've got to pay for the staff, and at the end of the day, they're lucky if they're making 200 grand a year.
Yeah.
And what do? We arrive with a cell phone and a laptop and we expect to write $1 million.
Yeah.
And it's all got to fall in our lap. And if it doesn't work, we go to the boss and say, we want leads, we want help, we want this. You're a business. Invest in yourself. That's why you've got to get an admin. Invest in yourself. So with Zane, what I've said to him, get a coach. Pay for coaching. Invest in yourself. Go to Eric. Go to, if there's a sales meeting or sales training, go to it.
Be a learning agent. You read books
all the time. I have audio books in the car. Whenever I'm driving to an appointment, I've always got something on. Always.
So you're listening to training courses. You're doing coaching. You're in the real estate gym. Can I ask you? You've been doing the real estate gym now for how long?
Since the start of the year.
How do you use the product? Tell me, how do you? When do you watch the videos? What do you do?
I watch the videos. Well, pretty much every time when we're sitting at work, if I have a task that I'm doing,
yeah.
I get on. I'll have a podcast playing. I'll have something. There's always something going. Go to CrossFit 20 to 6. We get out of there just before 7 o'clock. I get home. One of the first things that I do is I read your daily inspiration. It hits my email at 6:34 every single day. While I'm at gym, that's there. I get out, I read it. You have no idea how many times we'll have a coaching call and a to-do list, and your daily inspiration is exactly tied in with that. It's uncanny.
Yeah. So you think working on to me, it sounds like working on yourself is like I know I'm in the world of understanding that you must work on yourself as much as the job, because you are the job.
Yes.
You are the job. There's in real estate, they hire you. It's not like they're hiring 20 different people. It's you that they're hiring. You are the product. I'm just trying to think. What are some of like I'm looking at a few more here of your notes here. I can't get over the fact, I'm just looking at it here. You wrote, 1,010,000 after writing 342,000, Tell me, what do you find about coaching that works? Does it work?
Coaching only works if you do.
Coaching only works if you do.
You can't have your coach wanting it more than what you want it.
You can't outsource the work to your coach either.
No.
It's a bit like joining CrossFit.
Exactly.
You pay the membership, but it only starts working at the end of the class, not when you sign up.
Exactly. And the other thing that I find with coaching, with the extra lessons and all that sort of stuff, I know you go to gym. Now think about it, if you go to gym and you did a 40-minute workout and you had a 20-year-old next to you doing a 40-minute workout, who shows results quicker out of that workout, you or the 20-year-old? It's the youngster.
Of course they do, yes.
Okay.
So
when we doing the gym and the coaching on ourselves,
yes,
us older people need more of a workout than what the youngsters do.
So you've got to actually, to get the same benefit, you've got to do more.
Of course you do.
I've
20-year-old, you come in, you're not beat up, you're not anything, you don't have a life history or anything else.
I've never
It's
thought
right
about
out
that.
of
The
Washington.
truth is, you're raw, you're a blank canvas.
And it's easy. You adapt, you do things. When you're old, you've had years of no.
Well, the lesson to all the viewers there is this: if you're a young person watching it, it's an advantage.
Yes.
Get stuck into it. If you're an older person, what we're saying is work harder on yourself,
harder.
because you've got to unlearn some of the beliefs and the conditioning that you've created, which is probably bullshit anyway.
Yep.
But you've got to unlearn those lies that have become your reality, and you've got to actually not only you've got to make the old obsolete and then build the brand new.
Yep.
Whereas if you're a new person, it's more about building the brand new.
There we go.
Listen, it has been absolutely fantastic having you here today. Can I throw some random questions?
Yeah.
Sort of stuff that you will send. You're staying in contact with me every 12 weeks.
Yep.
What contact is it? What are you sending me?
We're sending you market review snapshots.
Who does those? The office provides it?
No, my PA does them. We're sending you, if you're a buyer, we're sending you, every time there's an auction, we're sending you auction lineup, we're sending you auction results.
From your office only?
Pretty much, because the Ray White City apartment brand in apartments in the CBD are phenomenal. We dominate.
Yeah.
We don't compete, we dominate.
Yeah.
We do probably 45% market share, which means we're doing pretty much the same as everybody else combined.
Yeah.
We are the place to go to.
Yeah.
So we send everybody, if we have vendors that are in a particular building, if there's anything that happens in that building, we let them know. And it's not a case of, look at what happened at auction, do you want to sell yours?
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody does. You know, the bit of marketing that we don't do, let me tell you what I don't do.
Right.
I don't send out marketing to somebody who says, give me a call if you want to sell.
Right.
Because what you're telling them is, if you don't want to sell, I don't want to know you. It's sad.
Well, most of the marketing does approach people that way, doesn't it? But unfortunately.
And what are those agents telling them? If there isn't a buck in it, I don't want to know you.
Commission
Get back,
breath.
exactly. Get back to me when I can make some money on you.
So what you're doing is you're sending information constantly.
Yep.
Not necessarily asking for the business.
No.
Just giving them stuff.
Yep.
New listings, results, auctions.
Yep.
When you're calling them up, you know, you said to me, Tom, when someone's not thinking of, before you said someone's not thinking of selling now, you don't call them in a year, you call them in a couple of months again.
Yep.
Your frequency, frequency builds trust, we know that.
Yep.
So you're calling them, and what are the conversations you say to them when you call them up?
It's just a friendly, hi, how are you? Have you been getting our reviews? Is there anything else that you're interested in?
Right.
You know.
How many calls are you making a week?
Probably around about 150 to 200.
Right.
Which isn't enough.
You believe it should be more?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was watching Danny Hayes'
Video.
interview. Yeah, 200 a day. Gave me a slap upside the head. I actually spoke to him on Facebook. Ordered his book.
Yeah.
Really,
He's an inspiring
good man.
guy, isn't he?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I spoke to him about, I'm coming to do an interview with Tom. I'm absolutely bricking it. Don't worry, Tom's a cool guy. So,
Yeah.
his video is just, and that's exactly it. You're saying 10 before 10. If you're going to aim for 10, you're probably going to do 8.
Yeah.
Aim for the 50 before 5. You might do 30. You're aiming for 200 a day, you might do 150.
Yeah, well, you've summed it up. We're talking about doing massive amounts of calls. This is a great success story. I think anyone that's watching this video here can be inspired. It's gone into a new country. We're talking about he's gone into a new country from South Africa, right? Yep. To a new country, and in 3 years, from stand start, writing over $1 million a year. Inspiring story. I want to thank you so much for coming over here today.
My pleasure.
Donald,
thank you very much. Thank you for everything that you do, because you've been a huge inspiration.
Thank you, and I'm sure that your wife Jenny should be thanked as well. She's sitting off camera there, because you did say to me that it was a game changer, making you more efficient, getting a personal assistant. So everyone watching this, all you understand is once you get to a certain level in real estate, listing and selling to write $1 million in GCI, you've learnt the skills. What now Donald is doing is creating the business unit, creating the resources, getting the right people doing the right jobs, because now it's all about efficiency.
Yeah.
All you want to do is double the amount of properties that you sold.
Yeah.
And that brings bringing new people in and making sure that the team is running effectively.
You made a good point. It's having the right bums on the bus, but having the bums in the right seats.
Absolutely.
And for me, I've got to be at the pointy end.
You're the if this was soccer, you're the goal scorer. You've got to be there, signing up those listings, getting those offers accepted. And what you've got to do is be more in those opportunities.
Exactly.
And what we're saying is that's not going to happen if you're sitting way behind the goals trying to clean up some mess.
No.
All right. Donald, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.
Heaps of learning there, but as I say, ideas without execution are delusions. It's what you do after the video that really matters.